Hello and welcome to Butts to Nuts, a movie review podcast hosted by me, Ben Charlesworth, and my brother Scott Charlesworth. Scott, how you bloody feeling after the movie?
Oh man, I'm feeling bloody bamboozled. That is what I'm feeling.
How's my sound levels?
Your sound levels are pretty good.
We just, I might be asking that throughout the podcast a bit.
Don't even worry. We should clarify before this podcast gets started.
Oh, it's going to be a bloody loose one, mate.
It's going to be a loose one.
Rules have been thrown out the window.
Usually we sit at a table for these podcasts, but because Ben and I are both in isolation with Brovid, we're on the lounge today, and we are just having a very chillaxed podcast.
Yeah, we've been sniffing away, we've been coughing away.
It's been terrible.
Getting a little bit hot and saucy with a little fever. Getting my temperature up.
Yeah. Watching a little bit of Breaking Bad this morning.
Yep.
Oh. My God, were we missing out?
Got to bloody edit those out, coughs out. Or maybe remix them into a nice song at the end.
You know, I could edit some coughs and make it into like a crazy, like, pitch shifted weird
Add a bit of
business.
djembe. Bit of djembe.
If I had a djembe, I would slap some djembe hard on this.
Hey, Scott.
Yeah.
Sometimes we start with a bit of a story.
Sometimes we do.
I went and got tested on a day. On a day.
Yeah.
Days have escaped me. And when I got tested for my PCR, my proper test,
Yes.
I went to go to this place called the Showground where they have lovely shows.
I love the Showground.
There's meant to be proper tests there.
That's in Clarendon.
Oh, mate, you fucking gave away. Now people know that place. See what I was doing? Now people know the place. Can you add a beep?
I'll add a beep. So
Keep that in.
we'll keep it a covert operation here.
Because now
A covert.
Oh,
No, that was terrible.
Can you beep that as well? Can you beep those two jokes? Because
I'll just censor everything.
I'm here
I say.
trying to tell a story and keep our location private.
Oh.
We're wasting time. I'm meant to talk about Fatal Attraction. I'm gonna finish the story in the middle of the podcast.
I'm scared you're gonna stab me now.
Let's start.
Yep.
And listeners will be on edge, just like this movie. And I might talk about. I'll finish my story at a random point.
You'll just pop back in with the story. Okay, hit me with something.
Well, I'm just gonna say Michael Douglas and Glenn Close had amazing performances.
Yes, wow. I am perplexed every time I see Michael Douglas perform on screen. Any movie that he's in, he just crushes it. Even Ant-Man and the Wasp, he crushes it in that.
That's your favourite MCU movie.
It's the best movie of all time, actually.
I'm going to start with a random point, and I don't know why this is at the top of my list.
Okay.
But the bants at the dinner table with the lawyer friend was actually pretty decent.
They were good bants, yeah.
Yeah.
They felt really natural, and I thought that was a common theme that ran out for the whole of this movie, the whole entirety of this movie, that every conversation felt authentic.
Yes.
Nothing felt faked or strained. And if we want to get on the topic of good acting here, I thought the child actor for Michael Douglas's kid was amazing. She did such a good job.
Yeah.
Like,
strained, eh?
usually you would find a bit of a stilted kind of fakeness in the child acting, which is a common theme, especially in 80s movies. But man, she did a top-notch performance.
Yeah, I think the kid was actually like good. Yeah, good for a movie. It wasn't annoying at all.
100%, yeah.
Big shirts. Big shirts.
Big shirts? Like 80s shirts, the big 80s shirts.
No, like the kid loved big shirts.
Yeah.
What was
true.
up? That was the only thing I didn't understand. What was up with the big shirts?
I mean, big shirts are cool, dude.
I know big shirts are cool, but
a lot of airflow.
Do we need to wear big shirts all the time?
This is a good question.
What's up with the big shirts, man?
I mean, if you wear a big shirt, you basically are wearing everything you need to have for
Is
the
it
day.
a convenience thing? Was she starting a trend that didn't get picked up?
Yeah.
Should we start big shirts in 2022?
Big shirts, no pants.
Big shirts, no pants. Put it up on a billboard. That's pretty hot, actually.
Yeah, we should put that on a t-shirt. We should start a t-shirt, big shirts, no pants.
Glenn Close and Michael Douglas like having sex at the at the sink,
Oh yeah.
and then just put over it big shirts, no pants. Fuck,
Dude, you're
tight.
a marketing master.
That's pretty tight, eh?
That's pretty tight.
That is pretty tight. No, I saved that point. The wife was also very pretty.
Yeah,
Very
she was
nice.
beautiful.
Beautiful,
And-
lady, gorgeous.
We had a discussion during the movie.
Oh, here we bloody go, mate.
Michael Douglas, why the fuck would you cheat on your wife?
I'm-
She is a 10. She's beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's got all the nugs.
Got all the nugs. She's
What-
a kind-hearted person. She has a beautiful
She's
soul.
nice, yeah.
You have a house. You have a child.
Not an annoying child either.
I just-
A nice child. Levels alright?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, no, don't even worry, bro. Yeah.
Alright, yeah.
Yeah.
A nice child. A nice child.
But that's annoying.
That's big for a movie, though.
Especially a movie in the 80s.
Yeah.
Kid actors, child actors in the 80s, they dipped and they soared. There were good ones and bad ones, but there were a lot of bad ones, and she was definitely amazing.
Yeah.
That crying scene as well, after Michael Douglas and his wife had that little crazy domestic dispute in the house.
Oh,
after
yeah.
she found out the
yeah.
big secret.
Mm.
Man, that was amazing.
Oh, after the Wabbit scenario.
I felt
See what I did there?
nah, yeah. After the Wabbit scenario,
See what I bloody did there, mate.
I felt those tears.
Yeah?
I felt those tears from her, and
Yeah, that is true.
I just want everyone to know that.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad that you're putting that on the table. It's good to get open and
Thanks.
dirty a little once in a while.
Yeah, yeah.
You are usually a closed, clean boy.
But you know, we're letting the nips out today.
Why? Yeah. Why the fuck would he do that though?
Oh my god.
Because I have a theory.
Okay.
You know what ruined it? Was the umbrella at the start.
That fucking umbrella.
Here's my point.
Okay.
If the umbrella never was broken with Michael doing his whole umbrella thing.
Yeah, when he came out of was it The Office or something, or was it the?
Oh, the bloody Office, mate.
And it was a rainy day.
They say that the worst days in the office are the rainy ones. Beep that. So, if that umbrella never broke, then Glenn Close and him would have never had that little chat.
Yes, and they
And-
wouldn't have gone to lunch and
and then-
eaten spaghetti
No,
at a spaghetti restaurant.
They didn't eat.
was that the spaghetti restaurant they came out from?
They didn't eat spaghetti at the restaurant. They ate spaghetti at her apartment.
Oh my god,
You
I'm getting
idiot.
my facts wrong.
Fuck,
Again.
you idiot.
Don't
They
trust me.
had coffee and wine, and there was food on the table, but we didn't know what it was because they never ate the food. Did you not watch the movie?
They were just eating up each other's aromas.
So I believe that if they didn't have... Oh, if Michael's umbrella didn't break... Stay with me here.
Yes.
And we'll get into the nitty-gritty.
I'm
This
with
is
you.
basically the nitty-gritty.
This is basically
We're
the whole
diving.
movie.
They're diving in.
Yeah.
If his umbrella didn't break, then she would have never talked to him. Then
No.
he might have never had an opportunity like that again to cheat. And then the wife would have been back, would have been smooth sailing.
Would have been fine.
He just would have seen her around the office sometimes.
That's why you get quality umbrellas and not cheap ones from Taiwan.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was from Taiwan.
It was from Taiwan. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, nothing against Taiwan, but cheap umbrellas.
Cheap
I'm
umbrellas.
sorry, guys. They're cheap.
The first major sign as well was the heart attack shit at the park. That was when
Yeah.
I was like,
This is the thing. Yeah, Okay, this is a point that I want to talk about that relates to your point that you want to talk about.
okay.
So, I really liked how the tone of the movie switched up. At first, it was this sexy drama. It was naughty. It was
So
It
naughty.
was so dirty.
I feel like I could have Marilyn Manson's Tainted Love playing whilst they were just banging in the kitchen. It was so naughty.
Anyway,
Bloody
so
as naughty as Barnaby Joyce, mate.
that was awesome.
Naughty.
Oh, tomato boy.
Are levels okay?
Farmer Barnaby. Yeah, we're good.
Farmer Barmer. Put it on a poster. Michael and Glenn. Sorry, go.
The tone of the movie totally switched up at that scene, at the heart attack scene when Michael Douglas fell down. Like, it was the drama and the crazy sexiness and everything and all that sort of scandal-fueled excellence, and then that switch up to the start of the thriller.
Yes.
That is when the tone shifted, and I loved it. It didn't feel disjointed. It was perfect. And you could just see in her eyes, like, oh yeah, my father died of a heart attack. Like, when she came up back in response, and she's like, I didn't find that funny at all.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, you started seeing a character shift, and you're like, oh,
like, that was quick
righty.
wit from her character, but in an attacking way. So that already signifies that she's a schemer.
Yeah,
And this is not something that he should have dipped his fingers into.
no, he should have not.
Literally.
He should have. Well, we don't know that for sure.
Yeah, that's true.
We saw a
That was a
blowjob
little
and we
bit
saw
much.
sex, but we did not see any fingering. Did we?
No.
All right, so I want you to take that comment back and apologise.
I just want to apologise to Glenn.
Thank you.
Yeah.
She's listening and she knows.
She's 100% listening to this podcast.
No, but you saw her character change, and that was like, oh crap. Now, because she was like kind of nice, and when we know that she's the antagonist, so you're
Yeah.
kind of on edge from the start. But if
But
you
she
really looked at it from a blind perspective,
Yeah.
up until that point, she is like a nice kind of normal chick, and then there's just small little things that start happening.
Yes. Yes.
I liked it as well that we were still, I think we paused it when you needed to go take a piss, and we were like an hour in, and she still wasn't completely crazy. They didn't jump, they weren't eager to get to the craziness, you know?
It was a nice slow burn all the way from the start, and there were these tiny little climax points.
Like the phone
That's
ringing.
in line with the sexy themes.
Like
and
the
stuff.
phone ringing.
Like the phone
The
ringing.
phone was, every time the phone rang, I was like, oh, geez, something's going on, mate.
It was a good motif throughout the whole movie, but it just built up, and then it would get to something big that would happen, and then you'd think, oh no, surely not, and then it keeps going, and then it gets to something big. Man, and then it just kept climbing the mountain until the end of the movie,
Yeah.
until we got the biggest climax of all, which was, you know,
And
jumping
isn't it-
out of a fucking bathtub with a knife.
Isn't it bloody crazy that it
Strong.
started off with them climbing each other, and then it climbed to that point? Am I right? Am
Oh,
I right?
up top, brother, up
buddy.
top.
No,
Yeah.
sound effect. Oh, yeah, bloody hell, mate.
You're just too bloody good.
I am. I'm
You're
a zinger. Hit
on
me with a
fire.
point. Hit me with a bloody point, mate.
Alrighty,
Hit me with a bloody
alrighty.
point after that bloody zinger, mate.
Well,
Hit me with a bloody point.
My favourite scene of this movie, and I have seen this scene before because it was on the telly,
Cough.
but it shocked me still, was the rabbit scene.
Oh, yes.
This scene is infamous, and I feel like this scene had the most impact for me throughout the entire movie. It had more impact for me even over the final scene when there was the scuffle and the strangle and the stabbing and all that. Like, this was a warning.
Yeah, that was nuts.
The look on the kid's face when she finally got to the cage and screamed, and then the mother's face when she screamed at the same time, like switching between those cuts as they were both like walking towards what we know as the audience. We know what's up, and the mother knows what's up. Well, not really, but she knows something's wrong.
Yeah, she didn't know
'Cause
the
there's
rabbit
a boiling
was in there.
pot in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And then once it's revealed, I just got goosebumps, man.
Yeah, that was nuts.
That was masterfully crafted, that scene. I loved it so much.
The whole
So much
contrast and
And the music build up with like the the classic horror, but it's more thrilling.
I think as well what
don't know.
made that scene better
Yeah.
was that Glenn Close didn't just like pop out of the out of the kitchen or something and be like,
Yes.
hey, I'm here, and then she starts doing some weird shit.
Because you could have,
It's like-
it could have been like, oh, someone's been in this house. If she was still in the house, then that's the same as the last scene of the movie. You don't want to spoil that too early.
Yeah, but
Like-
that's what I reckon. That's
that's why it's good.
A cheat way would have been. Oh, here we go, and then it's like we can get some easy scares here.
Yeah, that's right.
But it just made it more scary because it's like shit, she's looming. Is she here? Is she not? And then it just cuts to the next bit.
Perfect.
It's like, fuck.
That is how you convey horror. You know, you don't reveal your villain yet, or your monster, sort of. Like, she's already been revealed, but in the same sense, that scene works the same way as a horror movie.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I have a problem here.
Oh, yeah?
How did the teachers just let... Oh, I have a cough. Cut. And we're back to the Butts to Nuts podcast. Thank you for that lovely cut, Scott, back in the editing room.
That's all right.
How did the teachers not know about, like, when Glenn Close... So Glenn Close picked up the daughter from school.
She did.
I thought that we would have seen her, like, in brown hair or something. But she picked her up as her normal self.
Yeah.
And then the lady said, if I remember correctly, oh...
I thought you picked her up.
I thought you already picked her up.
Yeah.
You. Not, oh, your auntie came and picked her up or something. I thought you picked her up.
Okay, I have a theory.
How can you be that fucking dumb?
That is true. That is a plot hole. But have we thought of the fact that maybe she called the principal's office and requested her to come out to her car? And then was, like, saying over the phone, blah, 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 blah. Like, this is the 80s.
No, but I reckon...
This is the 80s we're talking about here. This isn't, like, the same safety measures of modern-day standards. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
I think
it was a
you
lot
give me
looser
credit.
back then.
I reckon that...
I don't know.
No, it was at the end of the day and the mum didn't get there straight on time because most of the kids were gone.
It's true.
I reckon she was there at the bell and they've made a plot hole. I'm not giving them credit for that.
Or there was a lot of
yeah.
parents around and she just kind of, like, snuck in and got her.
Yeah.
In cover, like, hidden in plain sight.
Oh, what a shit school.
Yeah.
But like, oh shit, beep it.
Oh, no.
beep
You
it.
left that slip there.
Beep it.
Okay, we're going to beep it, but Ben just said the name of our school.
Beep and
That's 2 more beeps. I don't know. What should I put as my expletive sound effect?
Don't do a normal beep. Do something
we'll
fun.
do something different.
Can you use like the Vine boom sound?
No, that's cringe, man.
What about like the bra sound?
Oh, man.
What about you sample it?
We'll go, that could be good. Oh, no, it's too slow.
But if you do bra like that, it sounds like the Minecraft zombie.
Anyways, so I want to talk about Glenn's acting specifically. We've talked about Michael specifically, and you did mention her obviously at the start.
Yeah.
But man, didn't she pull off someone that's batshit crazy well?
Yes.
Oh man, the crazy eyes, like in How I Met Your Mother. When Barney's explaining the crazy eyes.
The crazy eyes.
They were there.
She had eyes that were crazy.
And they were there to kill. She was on a mission.
She looked especially like nuts when she was following Michael Douglas in her car.
I know, right? That was like gripping the wheel, white knuckles. You're going to listen to my fucking tape.
Tears in her eyes.
Yeah.
She must have known that he was going to listen to the tape at that point.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Cough.
But she was... and she knew that he would play it in the car.
Yeah.
Because everyone has a tape machine back then.
I think
and
as
he'd
well...
be too tempted to play it.
You kind of felt at one point before she went into their apartment and talked to the wife, you're like, oh, there's actually... He could get away with this and get out to the country. And then she went to the apartment and everything went downhill from there. And you're like, man...
Yeah.
If only. Then he could have got away with cheating with his wife and all would have been good. For him. Not good morally for him.
For him. I will stand by this. Michael, you just shouldn't have cheated.
No.
I know that wouldn't have made for a good story, but moral...
That's a pretty good lesson.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Just don't cheat.
You
Just don't do it. Otherwise, you're going to get your dick chopped off in the middle of the night.
Yep, don't cheat with a crazy woman.
No. Or anyone.
But especially a crazy woman. Don't cheat with a crazy woman.
I mean, more so because you don't want to, like, betray your family, but...
But she could kill you, Scott.
This is true.
Don't cheat with a crazy woman. Glenn Close also looked very scary.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, the costume design, like, everything that she wore was very, like, black and white, sort of really in your face, but it like let her head kind of come at you.
Yeah.
Like it didn't take away from her hair. I think the crazy blonde hair and like the dark eye makeup was very necessary for the
Like,
character.
Glenn Close was
It's a good
like,
costume.
man. Like, Glenn Close was
Yeah.
like, man, she was scary.
Oh man, she was scary.
Man, she was scary.
Yeah, man.
The slit wrists, bro.
That was brutal.
So I was getting a PCR test, right? And
not this again.
I'm thinking, where is the actual testing places? Turns out that there was a tiny home expo instead of the COVID-19 testing place. They're like, oh no, you're going to have to go 9 minutes down the road because we got a tiny home expo. Now,
Wait, so they had tiny homes at the showground.
tiny homes, Scott. I'm telling you, tiny homes.
So they took the
Two-
whole COVID testing away for some tiny homes.
For some tiny homes.
How small were these homes?
Now, here's the two questions I have. Number one, why was it that the car park was full at 8 o'clock for tiny homes?
What the fuck?
It's like over 200 people for tiny homes.
Oh my god.
Number two, when I drove past and looked into the showground, I could not see any homes. Were they that tiny? Were these homes that tiny?
They must have been.
If you know anything about tiny homes, please let us know on our social medias.
Or call Crime
Send-
Stoppers.
Send us send us a DM. We would love to know about these tiny homes because we're not going to do any research.
Jesus, my mind is blown. Speaking of tiny homes, their apartments were quite small and they were good bases for different scenes. I liked the contrast between his apartment, which was all clean and neat,
Yeah.
and her kind of like outdoor disheveled area apartment. Like it wasn't disheveled inside necessarily, but the location definitely had a foreboding thing around her character.
Yeah, he was like living in Midtown.
And then
She was, like, living in
the ghetto,
Gotham.
basically. In the Gotham.
She was in the Gotham.
The Gotham. Man.
And they had the sink sex in his room. His
Yes, they
house.
did. And they ate spaghetti at her house.
And then listened to the Madame Butterfly, which she immediately bought tickets to.
Ah, speaking of Madame Butterfly, when he said that was his first opera, wasn't that our first opera, eh?
Yeah.
It was.
Or was it Carmen?
Wait a second.
No, it was Madame Butterfly.
It was Madame Butterfly. Yeah. That was
I
our
haven't been
first.
to opera in a while.
Yeah, with Nana and Pa. That was a wholesome time. And we got rained out, so we didn't get to see the whole show.
Do you think the baby was real?
What do you mean Oh, yeah. I thought you meant like the kid, the actor.
No, no.
Do you think the baby was real?
It's all a simulation based.
I don't think it was.
Yeah, me neither.
Although she did have pregnancy tests and stuff, but that's just normal though. You would just
Also,
have
when he-
backup ones, I guess.
When he rang the doctor, I reckon the doctor was in on it or something.
Maybe she was having an affair with the doctor as well.
Or she just gave a fake number.
Who knows?
No, I don't reckon the baby was real.
Surely not.
No way.
Nah, that's just like some
Also,
mind games to mess
you-
with his head.
You turned to me when she was watching him from the window and then she vomited and you said, oh, because of the baby.
I instantly went like, oh, she's pregnant.
And
She's vomiting.
I said, no, I reckon it's because she's vomiting because she's sick to see him happy with someone else.
I mean, if you're nuts though, like you could have like a crazy reaction like vomiting to something so mundane as seeing a family. But I kind of look at it like, man, that's triggered a sickening feeling in her, but the sick is really her being pregnant. But I don't know.
Well, I look at it as you're wrong
I don't know.
and you're
man.
silly. Go
I just
buy a tiny
contradicted
home.
myself. God damn it.
You're a little bit of a silly boy.
I'm a bit of a silly boy. I don't know. Yeah.
There was a wholesome dog moment as well.
Oh, there were so
Whatever
many
part.
wholesome dog moments. That Labrador was beautiful.
It was,
Was it
for
a
the-
Labrador? I think.
It was a bloody point, mate. It was a bloody point.
Here's with a bloody
It was a bloody point, mate.
I don't think I have. Oh, no, I do. So there was one scene of the movie where I thought the editing was actually a little bit choppy.
Oh, okay. This
So-
podcast is going pretty well, isn't it?
It's actually pretty hot.
Yeah. I think future Ben and Scott will like this when we do the pre-listen.
Yeah.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Yeah, how you
Hey,
doing?
hang on. They're about to look at each other in 3, 2, 1. Smile. Wink. All right. Keep going.
They bloody did it. Look at those two. What a
What is
good-looking
the
pair
editing
of lads.
problem? What is your problem, Scott? Because I'm interested here.
Well, you know the scene where, old mate picks up the kid from school and stuff like that, and you had a problem with that scene too. But I think the editing between Glenn taking the kid to the amusement park and the wife running around was way too choppy between the music. I
Yeah.
felt like they should have kept the music going throughout the whole scene, but they cut it and brought it back and cut it and brought it back. And I felt like it was... I know it was meant to be jarring, but it jarred the suspense and it made it a bit goofy.
Yeah.
Just that scene. And that... I don't know.
Yeah, that actually didn't cross my mind,
It was
but
a bit
now you're
campy. It was
now you're
almost a bit
saying that.
campy.
Yeah, now you're saying
Yeah.
that. I do see exactly what you're talking
Like,
about.
this is really minute and
no, that's
critical,
not
but-
minute. That's probably that's decent.
Pretty decent?
That's
Pretty
pretty
decent.
decent, I'd
Yeah.
say.
Well, that's an issue I had, and I thought, like, if they kept that music going while they were on the roller coaster, and it was like going to the shot of Glenn's face, kind of like looking all scary and stuff. If they kept that background music going throughout the whole thing, it just would have been so much better. Tied it together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. That didn't even cross my mind, but now that you're bringing it up,
Unlock a core memory.
what I've got one last issue as well.
Okay.
Why would Michael Douglas wait till after his wife was about to have a bath and then go and lock all the doors when it was clearly nighttime?
Yeah. That's such a
Clearly
dumb
nighttime.
idea. Although we do wait around. I mean, you think you're generally safe
No, but
out in
hang
the
on,
country.
Scott.
Oh no, but the
hang
whole premise
on.
of the movie, yeah.
At that point, he was on edge about, and he was like, "Nah, she's definitely
Yeah,
going
that's
to be
true.
coming back after the wabbit."
So he's locking all the doors.
But he locked the doors when it was nighttime. Like, bro,
Yeah,
lock the doors in like the afternoon.
yeah.
What are you doing?
Ma-
I mean, without that, we wouldn't have got the sick fight at the end, and then Glenn Close probably wouldn't have died so soon.
Yeah.
And then he could have died. So
Spoiler alert.
It's good. Yeah, true spoilers. But still, like, bro,
Yeah.
it's good that you didn't lock it, because then shit wouldn't have happened. But also, what are you doing?
I just
Who
the
is
flawed
on edge?
logic, man.
Who has a psychopathic lady after you, and then it gets to like probably 8 o'clock at night, and then
Oh,
you're
I'm
like,
gonna lock the
"Oh,
doors now."
I'll lock them now,
Yeah.
bro. You've had like a whole couple of weeks.
If
of
she
all this
knows,
shit.
yeah, if she's been to your house and talked about to your wife about moving to the country, I'm pretty sure she knows your address.
And if she's
Yeah.
already done the rabbit shit,
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
and she's already stolen your kid for like an afternoon,
The doors should be locked all the time.
the doors should be locked.
You should not be allowed to go outside.
Michael,
I'd be
what
installing-
are you doing?
I'd be installing cameras everywhere, man. I would have had that Home Alone, booby trap the shit out of that house.
Yeah.
I would have had some paint buckets falling down the stairs.
Yes.
Man, we would have had the cast iron hot handles
Some
on the
some
doors.
Hot Wheels.
Some
Hot
Hot
Wheels for
Wheels.
her to slip over.
Hot Wheels or Matchbox cars? Which team are you?
Hot
Obviously
Wheels. The fuck is that? Does Matchbox have a video game called Matchbox Unleashed that released last year?
No, it
I
doesn't.
didn't think so. And it got decent reviews, the Hot Wheels game.
Yeah.
Have I played it? No. Will I play it? Probably not.
Hmm.
But that's not the point, Scott. The point is I still support Hot Wheels, and that has been my stand from the start. My stand from the start.
I'm right with
And
you,
you know
brother.
what you do? You get Michael Douglas and Glenn Close having sex in the sink, and you put stand from the start. Put it on a poster. 3 posters now. We are selling big time. This isn't a podcast. This is a marketing play. All right, I'm the Wolf of Wall Street.
blowing my mind.
We're going to make money. Gains, money, Sigma mindset. This is the new life, Scott. Money is all we are.
Oh man.
Well, I'm about done. Do you have anything else to say except for Glenn Close scaring us?
Brother,
Yeah.
I think that I'm done too.
Okay.
Yeah. I think we've done a pretty good job covering this movie. It's been pretty good.
Yeah, how's my levels?
Your levels are hot.
Alright.
Let me check how long we've gone for, and then we can determine whether we've gone for a very decent time.
Alright. No.
I think it's time for the scores.
I'm first. I think you've gone first a few times, haven't you?
Hit me with it.
I'm going to give this 8 out of 10 nugs.
Oh, snap. That's very good. I'll beep that. I'm going to give it 8 out of 10 nugs as well.
Lovely.
This is the end of the episode. Thank you for listening to the Butts to Nuts podcast.
If you enjoyed the podcast and want to support us, you can do any number of these 3 things.
Number 1.
Tell a friend, a family member, or even a random person off the street to listen to our podcast.
Number 2.
Leave a review. The higher the better.
Number 3.
Follow and support us on our social media platforms, being Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, all with the usernames Butts to Nuts.
Again, thank you for listening. See you next week.
Butts to Nuts.